So it's that time of the month again where Conor Benn basically calls out Amir Khan and slags him off. How are we, boxing fans? Thought I'd just do a little video for Monday. Noticed obviously that Conor Benn's obviously done a few more interviews recently ahead of the Granados fight that he's got on the 31st of July, which is part of Fight Camp. Week number one is obviously headlining the show at the end of the evening. Probably will do another video nearer the time to Fight Camp regarding what I think of the not just the main events but the undercards, not just on fight week one but across 2 and 3. Let's just say I'm not very impressed to put it lightly, but we'll probably save that for nearer the time. Like I said, do maybe a separate video. But going back to this video that's on Behind the Gloves, it's another ridiculously long interview, over 30 minutes. So if you want to skip to the good stuff, the Amir Khan and Sean Porter stuff kicks off at around 6 minutes 45. Just so you don't have to watch any of the other nonsense beforehand. But yeah, no, essentially, Conor Benn is saying that he doesn't give a monkeys about Khan's achievements at 24 because the way he looks at it, he never had an amateur background. Amir Khan did, which I find baffling. And he still is interested in the fight by the way he's coming across. Obviously, no surprise to hear that obviously he was slagging Amir Khan's record off, especially regarding his last sort of few fights. I mean, I certainly can't defend Khan on the last fight, the Billy Dib fight. I mean, that wasn't even a fight, was it? I mean, Khan's last fight was against Terence Crawford, let's be honest. So let's just say for now that Khan's resume stops at Crawford and that other fight doesn't exist after that. So I can get where Ben is coming from regarding that last fight. But essentially what he's saying is, oh, you said you was a world champ at 24, but in your last 5 fights, you were fighting bums like Le Greco, and you got put on the canvas by Vargas, and I beat Vargas in 1 round. It took you 12 rounds. But you can't look at it like that. You can't say, oh, well, I beat that guy in 1 round and you beat him in 12. That means that I'd smash you up. That's not how boxing works. Whether we're a fan of Conor Benn or whether we're a fan of Amir Khan, whatever we may be, that's not how it works. Styles make the fights. So even though both Ben and Khan fought Samuel Vargas, and it took Ben much quicker to take care of business than Amir Khan, that does not mean that if Khan and Ben were to ever fight, that it would be a whitewash. It could be a very competitive fight. Even with Amir Khan pretty much, if we're being honest, on the brink of retirement, although he hasn't said anything officially, I think Khan isn't coming back. I've said this in a previous video, and I'd prefer him not to, if I'm being honest. He's not the same fighter. As incredible of a fighter he once was, and the achievements that he's had, especially in his early 20s, certainly not knocking that, but I don't personally want Khan to come back. Conor Benn is basically saying in this particular video that if Khan thought he could beat Ben, then he would have taken the fight by now, and that's why he's ducking. I don't think Amir Khan is afraid to fight Conor Benn. In fact, I think it would be a very competitive fight. I think the main reason Amir Khan hasn't taken the fight is because he's not going to get paid enough for it. I've already gone back to this. There's no belts on the line. Amir Khan said a couple months back that he'll only fight if it's for a world title. Amir Khan doesn't care about world titles. He just wants that green. He wants that bag, people. We all know this. So, look, are there any rules saying that Conor Benn isn't allowed to call out Amir Khan? Of course there isn't. He can call out whoever he wants to call out, and I like his confidence. I always have. But guys, let's say it how it is. Conor Benn is 18 fights in, and he's still a prospect. And the Adrian Granados fight that he's got coming up in 2 weeks, I personally think that is a step back compared to Samuel Vargas. I don't think that's an improvement. Yes, Granados has been in the ring with some good fighters, like your Garcias, like your Porters, but I don't think it's an improvement over Samuel Vargas personally. I think it's I think if I'm being really, really nice, it's at least a step aside. It's not an improvement, is it? Okay. But I think, look, if Conor Benn's going to call out people, look, why not just call out the world champs? I mean, let's be real. People like Crawford and Errol Spence probably don't know who Conor Benn is. But if you're that confident, just call the world champions out. You've had 18 fights. If you think you're that good, go for it. I mean, for a guy, let's be real here, people. For a guy that's not won an area, an English, a British, a Commonwealth, or a European belt, he certainly thinks he's the bee's knees. And when I say he's not even won those belts, guys, he's not even fought for those belts. So if you're already at that sort of level of confidence without winning any major belts in boxing, just call out the world champions. Does it matter by now? No one's going to think you're any less delusional than what you're coming across now. So look, guys, look, I'm not hating on anyone here. I'm just giving it as I see it. Whether you're a Conor Benn fan or you're not, you've got to say that some of the stuff he's coming out with doesn't stack up to his CV. Facts. But look, we'll see what happens after fight camp. I mean, I'm kind of interested to see what happens after both Conor Benn and Florian Marku fight camp, because that could really set the scene for the rest of the division. Because obviously Conor Benn was saying that he wasn't going to fight Marku until he's got a world ranking. Well, if Marku gets past the guy that he's got in fight camp, he will get a ranking with the IBF. So let's see what happens after that. I still think that Hearn will keep those two apart personally, hence why they're both in the same stable. But I think that is a fight that most people, whether you're a Benn fan or a Marku fan, I think that is one thing that a lot of those fans can agree on, that fight should happen. But look, we'll see what happens. But I mean, look, have you seen this video? What do you make of it? Do you think the Amir Khan fight will happen? I think it only happens if there's serious money involved, and with no world title on the line and Conor Benn not winning anything that significant at all, other than a trinket belt with the WBA, that money just simply won't generate what it needs to get Amir Khan in the ring. Facts. All right? But guys, let me know what you think. Put a comment below and obviously show some love. Smash the like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Cheers.